Good evening, I'm DK Roster. Welcome back to the TTT News. And I kind of vex her, I wouldn't lie, because since February, I try to make my way down to Library and I'm not doing it yet. And that is a very good opportunity to ask all of us, 3Ws, wear your mask, watch your physical distances, and wash your hands. Oh gosh, let me do it now. Because I want to be able to talk to people like Quincy Joseph, founder of No Youth Left Behind. How are you doing, Mr. Joseph?
Good evening, good afternoon. Thanks for having us. I'm fine. I'm observing the COVID protocols and here trying to stay safe and optimistic.
All right, now, in terms of that optimism, and I say we're going back to, it was the 21st of February, and there was a beach cleanup, and this was spearheaded by No Youth Left Behind. Now, we want to talk about partnerships, reasons for addressing the situation at the beach. But when we say No Youth Left Behind, what's the history of the organization?
The organization was founded by myself and registered in 2012. And one of the main objectives was to prevent youth, especially youth in high-risk areas, from going down that negative path. In other words, to limit the amount of burning they had to burn to learn.
Now, from 2012 to 2021, you see how the numbers switch there. But what are some of the things that you have done? What are some of the initiatives that you're proud of, that you have under the belt of No Youth Left Behind, Quincy?
One of the initiatives that comes to mind at this point in time is an initiative called Racism Ride Out. We did this alongside an organization, a cycling club from San Fernando called Rictex Sonics, Mr. Roger Fontaine. And to me, this was one of our most successful initiatives. It was one of our most passionate initiatives, because as we see today, racism is an issue that we still have to deal with in Trinidad and Tobago. So to us, it was something that was needed and highly successful. It was highly attended. And these are the types of initiatives we try to really focus on. Initiatives that deal with social issues, youth issues, initiatives that has multilateral benefits.
Now, you just spoke about Racism Ride Out, and now I want us to go to the Vessigny Beach Mangrove cleanup. What was the thought process behind that, and even like steps to saying, okay, well, this is what we want to do, this is what we need, so this is who we need to talk to. Take me through that process.
We had begun an initiative to bring the youth more focus on the environment. And there's an organization called the S.U.R.E Foundation. They were looking to do a decarbonization initiative as well. So through the MP at the time, Ms. Nicole Oliver, we came together, we met, had several planning meetings, and we came up with the concept, we came up with the working format for the initiative. It started off as a simple tree planting exercise around the Library Pitch Lake, where initially 300 or about trees were planted. The purpose of the exercise was to reduce, harmful CO2 emissions, to reduce the food import bill, free up our foreign exchange, and for us, most importantly, to engage and inspire youth to become more involved in agriculture, in caring for the environment, because by caring for the environment, you're caring for yourself.
Is it easy to make that link, Quincy, in terms of like saying, okay, well, we're planting these trees, and planting these trees could lead to these benefits? Is it easy to make those kind of links?
I think in today's society, where there are a lot of other entities focused on the environment and with the information out there, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's not as difficult as long time, because we live in the information age. So it's now about getting people to understand the seriousness of the information and not just having it as information, but adapting it as a lifestyle. So the thing is to get them to see the need for them to act on the information out there, let it become a part of who we are.
And how important do you think, Quincy, is that you are one of the people pushing this message, pushing this head, for carrying this agenda forward? Because with that story that we carried with regard to that beach cleanup and the mangrove cleanup, you were saying that you have history in the mang. In terms like running in the mang, playing in the mang, getting licks for going in the mang, all these kind of things. So people know you in that area. So if you're saying, well, this is something that we need to, so you have that, you already have that influence, I guess.
Yeah, the organization has the influence. I, as a person, is well known in the area. The organization, like I said, we registered in 2012 and we hit the ground running. So we are well known in the area. People trust us. We have good credibility in the area. So people gravitate to us. People come out. The organization gets the support from the corporate. I would say corporate Trinidad. We get support from the community. We get support from celebrities. We get that support because we don't fail. To put it in a nutshell, we don't fail. There was an initiative at the beach, the Vessigny beach, with the mangrove, and then we came on International Forest Day to Labre and continued some of that work there also at Labre. So the focus was really two locations, Vessigny Beach and the Labre Pitch Lake, which is walking distance from each other.
And I like the fact that you say we don't fail. Now, it have different ways to do that, huh? Because some people say that a L is no longer a loss, a L is a lesson. Some people say that everything's successful because they're choosing battles that they say, okay, we can win. What's your formula for it?
I didn't hear the last question. Sorry about that.
What is your formula for it? How do you go about in a way that you don't fail?
Well, we are a youth-based organization. And if you come in an area to help people, first you have to humble yourself and you have to understand the people that you are trying to assist. And there's nobody better to help you understand youth than youth. So what we do, we allow the youth, we connect with the youth. We look at their skill set, their characteristics, their traits, and we allow them, and the ones that show that leadership quality, the ones that tend to be more brave, we allow the youth a voice. And they kind of guide us, they kind of tell us what is needed, how is needed, they are involved. And that's one of the reasons, again, we don't fail, because we allow the youth to have an active role in the direction. We supervise and we just kind of shepherd and oversee the initiatives. I think that's one of our success formulas. We allow the youth them a proper space in the whole scheme of things.
All right, so we need to allow some space for a little break. But when we return, we're speaking with the founder of No Youth Left Behind, Quincy Joseph. Stay with us. We will be back with more. Welcome back. We are speaking with Quincy Joseph, the founder of No Youth Left Behind. We may not get the opportunity or the time in this conversation to find out why people call him 10, but at the same time, Quincy, at the first half of the conversation, you were talking about the S.U.R.E Foundation. Is that the only body, organization, foundation that you partner with? And how do you go about saying, okay, well, this is somebody that we want to work with?
S.U.R.E is the main initiator. To make it work, we got support from organizations like the Superior Regional Corporation, the Civilian Corps, the Ministry of Forestry. There are other organizations in the Labre area, the Labre, Made in Labre Football Academy, Labre Internationals. There were schools like Naparima College, Presentation College, Vessigny Secondary. So it was a collaborative effort. There were companies like Caribbean Gas Chemical Limited that came out with their team. And to answer the question as how we choose our partners. We choose our partners based on their passion, based on their willingness, their effectiveness. We don't. I don't think our threshold is that high, but you must be sincere, you must be serious, and you must be willing to work. You don't necessarily have to be large in number, but you must be large in spirit and in our love for Trinidad and Tobago, because that is one of our key motivations, the love that we have for country. And one of the things that we are adamant about teaching our youth generation is patriotism. That is one of the things we think we need to do better at as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, being more patriotic indeed. Not just in word, not just around CPL time, not just around World Cup time, but each and every opportunity we get to promote and to defend Trinidad in its proper light, we must take that opportunity.
And one of the things you were saying in terms of building spirit, you're also trying to build capacity, as I understand it, with regard to the S.U.R.E Foundation helping as well in terms of getting those seedlings out. And what is the thrust of that, and where are you trying to get those seedlings to? Because I think you've been in different areas.
Yes. Again, we must commend the S.U.R.E Foundation for the seedling aspect of the entire thing. What happened, they initially wanted to plant 1 million trees nationwide, but because of the pandemic, the strategy had to change, so the seedling distribution nationwide came to pass. The goal is initially started off as giving away at least 1 million seedlings nationwide. We have been to different places. Well, we started off in La Brea, Point 14. We've been to Central, Laramie, Couva, Reform, and we continue to work towards attaining that goal.
So how do you go about in terms of letting an area know, okay, well, we're going to be coming to an area near you, look out for your seedlings, naturally you walk with your mask and this and that and the other.
Right.
Because I remember at the Vessigny Beach facility, I seen Dr. Hussein looking sexy, man, in his short pants, running down car, balling, giving away seeds.
He's a worker.
So how do you do that and raise that awareness before you actually go to a specific location?
Well, what happened, No Youth Left Behind, as you may be aware, we have a very vibrant social media presence. And through that, a lot of people see the work that we do and they reach out. So we would receive the requests, go through the requests, ask the person making the request to assist in finding a suitable location, a high traffic location, where our members will be safe, and there's areas where we could set up and effectively do the distribution. Each distribution, we give out a minimum of 20,000 seedlings. Normally, the process takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours, because, it's Trinidad and Tobago, and once they understand it's free seedlings, the process is expedited.
But so in terms of the 20,000 seedlings in an hour, that's nothing to sneeze at. And yes, people like freeness, but at the same time, it makes sense because this is something that can hopefully spark the imagination and carry you forward. But what kind of seedlings or what kind of plants are there in that $20,000 seedlings that people would get in that hour?
We give out short-term crops, kitchen crops, stuff like chive, celery, bodi, pumpkin, pepper, corn, lettuce, melon, what I would call traditional kitchen crops, short-term crops that could put food in your pot, crops that could bring your youth into interest of agriculture, crops that, again, would work towards the ultimate purpose, which is, decarbonization, reducing the food port bill, providing a level of food security. And again, Dr. Hussein is somebody that is very passionate about these things, and I must commend him for really bringing this to the forefront.
Okay, and in terms of going back to the forefront, we go into the root now, because yes, you're a son of the soil and a son of the area that we've been talking about a great deal.
Yeah, man, Labre, Southside.
But And
You see
trust
where
me,
I sit down?
and a real vex, because
Like you
one,
said
you're
earlier.
underneath getting some nice breeze pitch lakeside, and two,
Yes, yeah.
to be able
All
to
right,
pass
yes.
there, I would have want to get some cheese pie from that bakery that we was talking about.
You know the thing, you know the thing. You know the cheese down south, everything down south different.
According to
The
Scrunter,
soil, you
eating
know, the
plenty grease, we
atmosphere.
must increase. But in terms of when people say laborate, they don't necessarily think of agriculture. They don't necessarily think of growing like that. So is that something that you take into consideration and trying to work against or to change that view somewhat?
Well, yes, there's a lot of good things that go on in Labre that, you know, I would say is a well-kept secret that doesn't need to be a secret. So one of the purpose of myself, one of the purpose of No You Left Behind is providing a window for people to look into Labre and see the beauty that we have to offer and provide a vehicle for that beauty to get out. Like you said earlier, I grew up around here. The lake, Vessigny Beach, is a source of recreation, is a source where people have put their children through schooling and educated their family, provided for their family. The lake, No Youth Left Behind, has been on the mission to transform it where it's a destination. A lot of people have the habit of they just pass through the lake. We want to create a destination for family, a destination for both local and international tourism, a destination for ecotourism. There are a lot of birds and a lot of fauna that you could only find here at the lake. Not just the mango and the cashew and the stinking toe, you know, but there's a lot of beauty, divine, and I have to use the word divine beauty. Even bathing out in the ponds, the various ponds. There's different remedies for different ailments for your skin and these type of things out there. So we are doing our part. The community of Labre has come out and supporting us, and we are doing our part. It's starting to catch on. We are doing our part where the nation and the world can understand that God has smiled upon Labre when he blessed us with this international treasure, the Pitch Lake.
All right,
I
so
must thank, the CEO for Lake Asphalt, Mr. Roger Wiggins, the corporate coordinator, Ms. Marsha Marchand, the staff, the police, the security, the whole of Lake Asphalt for that support that they have given us thus far.
hey, don't forget to put some respect on Ms. Marsha. Her name is Marsha Marchand Villarreal now.
You know the individual, man. You know
But
the
also,
individual.
but give me some contact information for No Youth Left Behind, please, because some people may have some resources, but they may not have the time or the wherewithal to do that legwork that you all are doing right about now. So how do they contact you to be a part of the mission?
You can contact us at my contact number is 868-359-6172. You can contact us on Facebook at No Youth Left Behind, on Instagram at No Youth Left Behind. Well, NYLB868 is the Instagram account. And you can email us at noyouthleft@gmail.com. And as you say, resources, we are appealing to any companies, anybody, farmers. You want to come and put a hand, you can contact us, because what we are doing at the lake, we are giving this to the nation. We are giving this to the community. If you have any workers that need refurbishing, any tools, it doesn't have to be brand new. You know, we understand that things the economy is tough, but we understand that there are also people who are willing, and we are resilient. We could take workers that need to be refurbished, any kind of tool, and we would use it for more than one purpose. It would be an opportunity for our youth maybe to learn to fix our worker, you know? So again, No Youth Left Behind on Facebook, No Youth Left Behind on Instagram, 359-6172 is my contact.
All right, so we want to thank you very much, Quincy Joseph. And there's a saying that tiny do plenty. So we want to thank you for your contribution. That is having a larger-than-life impact. And on behalf of all of us here at the news team, we want to thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.